Back here on the DansGolfWorld Podcast, the one and only. It is, in my opinion, the absolute greatest golf podcast that exists in this room right now.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, bar none.
Oh, yeah.
Easy contest. Josh, my friend, how do you feel? I got to know this right now. How do you feel after experiencing your first professional golf event this past week?
Dude, it was fun. I wish I was able to stay the whole time.
Dude, you got a lot going on in life. I get it. You did miss out. We were at the Chicago LIV Golf Tournament event in Bolingbrook, Illinois. And there was a lot of controversy over the golf course that was chosen because it's a public golf course. Although
it was beautiful.
There are a lot of tournaments played on public golf courses. I mean, even the simple fact, anybody can go play TPC Sawgrass, and that's the Players' Championship. So I don't understand why there was so much controversy over that. You'll also notice I am decked out in my Bryson DeChambeau gear from the week.
I got my smash on. My smash on.
All right, you're supporting the Brooks Koepka gang. Taylor Gooch. I'm over here representing Crushers GC, of course, Bryson DeChambeau, and the likes of his gang. I will tell you what, it was a good event.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your take? I've been to a ton of golf tournaments, so I'm going to hand this over to you as it being your very first experience seeing this type of thing. Give me your big takeaways.
So I was only there for the media days, so I didn't really get to dive deep, but I did see the Pro-Am.
Yeah.
First day when we got there was just a media day. They had practice rounds. That was fun. That was cool.
Yeah.
Because no one was there. It was just like when we were walking around the course, I'm like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah. You kind of have like this intimate experience with the pros as they're out there mapping the course, figuring out strategy, coming up with whatever they're going to implement to try and win big money.
And what was so cool too is like we actually took a couple of them that ended up like being viral videos. We saw them live, like
Cam Smith hitting off the cart path.
The cart path. Bryson DeChambeau just wailing drivers at the range. Like I saw one shot of his. I'm like, look at this. He's going for something here. He's trying something.
Yeah.
And he hit, what, 210 miles an hour? 210 miles an hour?
I don't remember what number he was hitting, but there was a cool moment. Bryson had practiced all day, done his whole routine. At the end of the day, he was on the range, kind of going through the process of speed training. And I have seen videos of Bryson doing speed training. I've never witnessed it. And that was unbelievable. I mean, to see the speed, the momentum, the power, the strength, the ball contact, the ball flight, all of this happening, it's a different level when you're watching it in real life.
I'll tell you something too. Watching those, so at the range at this time, it was DeChambeau, it was Rahm, and then it was Cam Smith.
What an insane lineup. That was the only three guys. Everyone else was gone. These guys had the whole range of themselves. And what a view.
And just the sound off the clubs just sounds so different.
The impact is so forceful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible. We golf a ton. We're around a bunch of other golfers. We're at the golf course all the time. Whatever. It's different. It's not like, oh, mine sounds like that if I hit it good. It's like, no, I could hit it the best I've ever hit it. And it is not like a standard swing of theirs that they're hitting over and over.
Honestly, I thought some of them broke their driver. That's how they sounded. Like, it's just a sound I'm not used to even hearing.
Bryson deals with that.
Yeah.
I mean, and you can see he is swinging that club. I mean, what do they say? The tour average is like 173 miles an hour or something like that. And here he's swinging over 200. So you take the greatest players in the world, and he is swinging numbers that are far surpassing that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not using that particular swing speed on course, but I heard him talking in an interview where he was saying, if I stay up on my speed training, I feel so much more comfortable and relaxed at my regular swing speed, which is incredibly fast. So what feels to him is just taking a smooth swing. That baseline is now unbelievably fast.
Yeah. And just be able to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was incredible. I got a range ball. I stole a range ball.
Yeah. I pointed out, I was like, Josh, there's a ball over there.
I wanted, do you know what I really wanted? I wanted a LIV logo golf ball, and they weren't selling them at the store. So that was weird to me. So I'm like, I need a ball. And I'm like, I'm going to just grab a range ball.
And not just any old range ball. What was it?
Pro V1X.
A Titleist Pro V1X. Again, the dream.
With a stamp on there that says, red stamp that says Tour. It was... It's
cool.
Yeah, it is cool. It's in my display of all my golf balls for all the different places I golf at, and I'm now getting into like logos.
Yeah.
So like I was at the range yesterday, and I found a ball in there that it was a clean ball, Corona Extra logo on there. I'm like, oh, pocket.
Yoink.
Oh yeah.
Fun moment. So kind of leading into the Pro-Am event and being out there, just days before, we saw this video come out from My Golf Spy.
Yeah.
My Golf Spy was attempting, I guess we'll use that term, to quote unquote debunk the Bryson salty balls process. And they were basically saying that it is total BS and it doesn't do anything and it doesn't work. Well, of course, most people, potentially, if you're tuning in right now, you've probably seen where I went to Dallas and I went down and watched Bryson DeChambeau actually salt the balls in person and really go through the process. And I learned a ton, and I quickly learned why most people are doing it wrong. Too much salt in the water. The ball is floating above the surface. There's surface tension not allowing the ball to move freely. My Golf Spy jumps on and attempts to debunk this process by doing it wrong. And they had way too much salt in the water. The ball is floating up above the surface. There's too much surface tension. And he's saying that this process doesn't work. And my knee-jerk reaction is, and listen, I think My Golf Spy is fantastic. I go on there and get incredible information about like new club lineups, ball compression ratings and things like that. I mean, I truly love My Golf Spy. I just feel like there was a miss here, and I'm not asking for them to redact or come out with an apology statement. I just would like to make it known to the viewers at home that are sort of, throwing this theory out the window right now because they're hearing an industry expert sort of debunk this whole thing. Fast forward now to the Wednesday Pro-Am day. We're out cruising the course. We're seeing some stuff. Walk around the corner. There's Bryson DeChambeau coming off 5 green, headed to 6T, I think. Could have been something like that. Comes around the corner, see Bryson. He's like, hey, whatever, cool moment. He says hi, comes over. So I just kind of walk with him for a little bit. Josh rolls the camera because everything's content. Welcome to the world. And Bryson and I quickly got into that conversation of My Golf Spy. And that was the first thing Bryson said. He's like, they did it wrong.
Yeah.
Like here they are debunking something. And even as Bryson said, he goes, you don't think, I've been doing this for over a decade, longer, and that I haven't tested and retested and done, the follow-up experiments to really figure out, is there validity to this process? And he's like, there is, when you do it properly, which, it was very kind of cool and interesting to hear that, the video had only been out for a day or two at that point, and to hear Bryson DeChambeau just feel the exact same thing that I did. Mm-hmm. That I'm like, when you see this, it's just like, guys, I'm sorry you just missed here. You're doing it wrong. And in my opinion, in the process of scientific research, and I'm one of the least scientific people you'll ever meet, but that if you are going to be the authority on golf technology and all this stuff, you owe the experiment the due process of performing it correctly. Mm-hmm. And they didn't. That was a little off.
And my thing is about the video too, is I don't like that they just all of a sudden just was like, oh, this is BS.
Yeah.
This is all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And even in the comments too, with people, they were commenting they were tagging you, and they said something didn't they say something else in the comments that like was kind of really demeaning towards him? And
yeah, I mean, the whole thing was just sort of
it was a bad
negative
take.
Undertone to the whole thing. And then he kind of lumped stuff together. There's been no proof from manufacturers or any tests we've done that show that this could have any benefit, especially to amateur golfers. It's like, okay.
It probably doesn't help amateur golfers.
First, there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
I think doing it properly has very little help to amateur golfers because we don't hit the center of the club face every time. We don't have a beautiful, professional, top-tier golf swing that the most micro variables can adjust the outcome. Here's us like stepping up and praying that we hit a fairway, hoping to land the ball on a green. Whereas somebody like Bryson DeChambeau or these other top players in the world, I mean, you even look at some of these old pictures of Tiger Woods golf clubs where you see that the sweet spot is the only abused portion of the face of an iron because he's hitting perfect every single time. So now if you take a golf ball that might potentially have some slight imbalance, well, there is potential for there to be a poor result, an outcome that he wasn't expecting. I think, golfers like you and I, if this thing kind of drifts off and lands over in the rough, there's a million reasons that could have happened. Not that I performed this perfect golf swing and something happened that was outside of my control. That's not the case. That's not the way we golf. And what I also slightly potentially feel, and again, this is all in love. This is all in fun. I greatly respect my golf spy, and I greatly respect some of these great golf ball companies and the time, the effort, the technology, what they put into it. But he referenced that there are no golf ball companies out there that have found that this. Of course. Do you think a golf ball company is going to say, yeah, our balls are lopsided and have a heavy spot. You're going to want to do this after you buy a dozen? No, of course they're not going to get on board with that. They're going to say, this is all crap. Our balls are perfect. Spend your money with us. I would think that any marketing department would sever the head of any person from their organization that said that you need to do this to our golf balls because there are imperfections to the product.
Yeah,
they're not going to get behind this sport. No. Either way, I don't want to harp on this all day, but it was a fun moment at the Pro-Am to kind of catch up with Bryson because we did do this in Dallas. We went through the process. I learned a ton. The video did great, and it got tons of awesome feedback from people all over. I think a lot of people in the comments agreed that this is pointless for a lot of amateur golfers, which I totally agree. I think ultimately, if anything, perhaps maybe an amateur golfer might see more benefit on the putting green.
Yeah.
Where, we're doing our best to just put a straight roll on that ball and maybe make a putt every now and then. In my opinion, that's where I think amateur golfers might see more benefit from this process. But that doesn't change the fact that the process is true and it does point out that variable in any given golf ball if done properly.
Yeah, it really like all stems from just how that guy was just talking about it. Honestly, it's one thing to just say, this ain't gonna work.
Yeah,
it's another thing to bash the person that's done it.
Sure.
I just think it's a really bad take on their end.
It was, but again, like I said, no hard feelings. Just kind of joining in the conversation. And I mean, here's the thing: at the end of the day, not trying to toot any horns here, but I got to be a part of a very interesting special moment where I presented this question at the U.S. Open. It went very viral and sort of brought to the surface this conversation of floating your golf balls in Epsom salt from the U.S. Open. And a lot of conversations have happened since then. A lot of videos have been made and a lot of misconceptions were drawn from that because people were not doing it properly. And I had another wonderful opportunity to fly to Dallas and do this with Bryson. And again, put that out there, which resurfaced the conversation again. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm delusional that I don't think that my golf spy would have even made that video had this conversation not existed since the U.S. Open, sort of between Bryson and I. So that's the only reason that I feel, I don't know, a little close to the topic and want to get involved in the conversation. But again, respect my Golf Spy. I respect the big golf ball brands. All I'm saying is I do think that there is some legitimate scientific validity to the process that benefits 0.01% of golfers. But that 0.01% of golfers are the greatest golfers on the planet, and they are looking for any microscopic edge that can gain them a fraction of a stroke, which ultimately leads to winning major championships.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I have.
Then the next day, Thursday, was awesome.
It was fun.
I got to meet some cool people.
You did? It was a big day for you.
Yeah. I'll tell you something. So this is the first day I was kind of like on my own.
Yeah. I sent Josh off into the wild. First day we kind of stuck together. Second day I was like, dude, go nuts, do some filming, find some stories, do your thing.
Which that's hard to do, man. I get it now.
Welcome to my life.
I get it now. But I met a few cool people. You know, number one has got to be Ninja.
Yeah.
When I met Ninja, so after he was done with the front nine,
he played in the Pro-Am.
He played in the Pro-Am.
So he was sort of a guest of LIV Golf for the day. Got to play in, I think he was with Bryson DeChambeau. I don't know if it was just for 9
or just for 9.
So, and then they switched pros after 9 for some of them. Either way, but yeah, he was involved in the Pro-Am.
So after he was done with his front 9, he had some time to kill on the 10th tee box. So I'm like, hey, can I get a picture? It's Ninja.
Yeah,
you got to take a picture with Ninja.
Listen, I don't watch any streamers. I've never been on Twitch or Kick or any of these. I know who Ninja is.
Yeah,
it's just he's so gigantic in the world of internet and videos. And I mean, even listen, I don't know anything. I don't know anybody. If they're not like literally like a tour card holding golfer, I don't know who most of these people are. I know who Ninja is.
Yeah, and I had a cool conversation with him on like where he grew up and all that stuff, and how him and his wife, he convinced his wife to move to where they live and all that stuff.
Where does he live now?
He lived like an hour from the golf course.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
so
does he still live there?
Yeah. He grew up.
He's still an Illinois guy?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I figured he'd be in like Hollywood or something.
I thought that too, and all my friends thought that too.
Yeah.
He grew up in Gurnee. So that's where like Six Flags is.
Sure is.
Yeah.
And the Gurnee Mills, the giant mall, Bass Pro Shops. I used to go up there and buy fishing lures when I was like 11. It was a great time.
That place is, I'll tell you something, that mall kind of sucks though.
It does now. Back in the day, it was pretty jamming.
Well, it's still jamming, but
I think every mall sucks now, though.
Think about the mall. It's a C.
Yeah, it's a terrible format.
If you enter one section or one side, it's a long mall too.
It's huge.
You have to walk from one end all the way. You got to walk all the way back. I'm like, that's so dumb.
Yeah. Wow.
I've been there a few times.
Terrible format. Anyway.
But the Barstool guys were cool too. Met the Barstool guys.
Yeah. So who'd they have out there? They had the gang from
Pardon My Take.
Pardon My Take. So of course, Big Cat.
And I don't remember the other guys. I know Jersey Jerry was there though.
PFT and what's the other guy's name? Lockwood. Something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm terrible with all. There's too many of them.
Yeah. They've got a big gang. Did you see? I posted a video on it. You probably saw it. Of course you did. The moment with Jersey Jerry and his gum.
That was hilarious. I wish there was more love on that on socials.
I know. It's so weird how some things just don't fly in the algorithms. But the moment cracked me up so much. So for those of you that didn't see it, here I am. We're kind of Pro-Am Day, filming, checking stuff out, and the Barstool gang is doing a video collab with Brooks Koepka. At this point, as we're recording the show, I don't think any of those videos have been released yet, so I haven't seen
the only thing that's released with them is when him and Taylor Gooch went to the HQ in Chicago.
Okay, so we haven't seen anything from the golf tournament yet, so that'll probably be coming. I mean, whatever, free plug for them. You're welcome. Not like they need it. And Jersey Jerry was the caddy for the gang. And I look over, they're on the first tee box. They were filming like some intros. They got Brooks Koepka. He seemed like he was in a great mood. He was like throwing jokes and one-liners out there. Everybody's having fun. And they're kind of like yelling at Jersey Jerry, like, where are you? Get over here. Like, lift the rope. You can't make Koepka go under the rope. Lift the rope. Like, it was just very funny. Again, I don't want to ruin their video. But I look over and Jersey Jerry, like out of nowhere, just takes his gum out of his mouth and kind of puts it down by his side and like throws it on the ground on the tee box. Like the amount of time and effort that these golf courses put in to prepare them for a gigantic professional golf tournament. And for the LIV Golf Tour, this was the individuals championship for the entire season. So it's a very important event. And here he is standing on the tee box and he takes his gum and just throws it like right on the tee box. I find this moment just like ridiculous and hilarious and such like a classic Jersey Jerry moment as we know him from the internet. I don't really know him, but you know, from this persona that's been created about him, I take my phone out and I'm just like, I want to video this gum on the ground just because I think it's hilarious. And as I'm filming it, he takes a step back and then steps in his own gum. I'm like, this is by far one of the most Jersey Jerry moments that nobody realized happened. I think that I am the only person who recognized what happened in that moment.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, I don't think anybody did because he dropped it so subtly and I was standing 4 feet behind him. It's closed to the public. There's not people everywhere. So it just wasn't like, oh, I'm sure somebody in the crowd saw it. There was no crowd. And I'm like, this is just kind of funny. I'm like, whatever. And I get the exact moment. He takes this step back and steps in his own gum. I think the only benefit from it was it clearly stuck to his shoe and it was no longer on the tee box anymore. He did a favor.
I think that's just so funny.
Yeah.
Like I think he probably didn't realize it.
Yeah, I'm quite positive he has no clue that happened.
Do you think someone told him to step on the gum?
No, 100% no, because he was like, it happened naturally. Like he dropped the gum and he's watching the guys. Nobody's talking to him, and he's like looking around at what he should be doing next, and then just like took a half step back. Like it was so unintentional that there was no thought behind it, and sometimes I wonder what there even is thought behind, if much of anything.
I talked to him a little bit too.
He's kind of a funny guy.
He is. A
little squirrely.
I was talking to him about his Breaking 100 video. I'm like, dude, I bet you'll get it in 5 tries. I go, you were hot because have you seen it?
No. The last thing I watched of him doing any form of golf was his hole-in-one marathon, which was like months ago.
He was hot. Like he shot like 50 something for the front 9, and then went par.
Wow.
Had a hot dog, and then everything went in the shambles. So it's like, yeah, man, I'm not eating. He straight up told me, he goes, yeah, I'm not eating hot dogs anymore when I play.
It's weird though. They're like the littlest thing can change your momentum, all the way down to the glizzy.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great weekend. The tournament was fun. In terms of the days you missed out on, the actual tournament event, it was great. They said that they broke an all-time record single day attendance. So it was, in fact, the biggest attended day of all of LIV Golf history. So great response in Chicago. The players were playing well. I think one of the greatest parts was, of course, there was all this controversy over the fact that they're playing a public golf course, but every single one of the players said that this course played very difficult.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, it was windy. So now they're adding that in. The rough was long. The greens were firm. I mean, like every golf course, they tune it up for tournaments. I'm sure if you head out there, in a month from now, it's going to be a much more sort of relaxed version of the course. But either way, I mean,
it was beautiful.
It's beautiful. The fairways were super undulated. Like it's not just your classic, flat grass till you get to the green. I mean, this thing, I don't think there was a flat spot out there. I mean, tough looking course.
Yeah.
John Rahm went at it, stayed at it, and ultimately in the end took the victory. He, took it over Joaquin Niemann. They were the only 2 players that were eligible to win the season championship because of the amount of points they had acquired. And it was very close for portions of the tournament. And then John Rahm just started pulling away. And it kind of got to that point where it was like, if he can hold on, keep playing this level of golf, he's got this. It's going to be his. And he did. He just kept pounding the driver, hitting decent wedges, making putts, and ultimately won himself the $18 million prize, as well as the ring, the championship ring. And not only did he win, because he could have potentially taken second or third and still had the points to win the championship.
Yeah.
But he also won the weekend, which was an additional $4 million, giving him $22 million in prize winnings that weekend, this past weekend.
That's almost, what was PGA Championship?
FedEx Cup.
Yeah, FedEx Cup.
Was it 25 million this year or was it 20? I think it was 25.
So he won more than
I think Scotty Scheffler won 25 million for the FedEx Cup. Jon Rahm won 18 plus 4. So
he's a little bit under.
A hair off, but his overall season winnings were something like, I forgot. There was a sheet that was handed out. I think it was like 32 million for the year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
In 13 events. You know what I mean? So we're looking at, Scotty Scheffler's annual, earnings for this year. He played a whole lot more golf to get to that number.
Yeah, and Jon Rahm didn't place anything less than 10th place.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
I think so. On this topic of PGA Tour money, LIV Golf money, sort of some breaking news came out today.
Yeah.
Flooding the headlines. And it is in and around the negotiations of this potential for a merger that's been now drug on for what feels like years.
Yeah.
But the potential for there to be a unification in professional golf of the PGA Tour and LIV Golf. And one of the big headlines that stuck out from this meeting and then follow-up press conference was one of the big hangups for the players is this massive payday that Jon Rahm took. They're now calling it a $300 million payday. When the original deal went down, they were using the number 400 million. So I don't know. Those deals aren't public. We don't know an official number, but for some reason right now, the number is now being thrown around a 300 million range. And some of these guys are saying that they feel like that money should be given back in order to come back and merge and play with the PGA Tour players.
I don't think they should do that.
That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, that makes zero sense. So you would ask someone who's made tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
To give all that back just to play with the PGA Tour guys. That makes zero sense to me.
So here's the thing. I feel like I don't care what camp you're in. I think LIV Golf coming along overall was a good thing. And I think it's because it created competition in the space. It forced the PGA Tour to take another look at the prize structure, the tournament structure. I mean, a lot of things. And because LIV Golf came along and did something, which ultimately the product is wildly different, they came along and forced the PGA Tour to revisit a lot of things that I feel like they were just allowing to float along and be status quo. Here's an interesting number. I ran the numbers just before the show started. From 2021, the last year of golf before the LIV Golf existed, through now 2024, the increase in PGA Tour prize money went up 49.9%. We're talking 50%.
Yeah.
The prize pool went up by 50%. We're not talking like, a few points for inflation. We're talking a massive leap that happened because of the existence of LIV Golf. $183 million more in prize money.
That's a lot.
Okay. Should they give that back then?
They're not going to.
They're not going to. It's stupid.
Yeah, that's
It is
so
a stupid talking point. But I make the point to say that if you're saying that the catalyst to this new prize money and the fact that Scotty Scheffler was one of the highest earning athletes of all sports in a single year happened, yes, because of his quality golf playing, but I'm talking about the number that he achieved was because the existence of LIV Golf, and you want them to hand the money back, even though they reshaped the entire landscape of prize money in golf, then I think that money should be the conversation of that money being handed back needs to be brought to the table as well, which I don't think they should.
No.
I'm just saying it's a counter argument where you're saying, well, you got this bag, even though it benefited us, and I chose not to go because I wanted to take the high horse, and I'm not going to do it in the history and the legacy of golf. But you made the decision to go over to this other thing, which ultimately I have benefited from as a PGA Tour player. I want you to be punished for it, even though I am still reaping the benefits from it. That doesn't make sense to me.
You can't have your cake and eat it too.
You can't. Absolutely not.
Because you can't ask anyone to give back money that was already given out.
No, it's stupid.
Where would it go? What are they going to do? Give it to charity?
All right, first of all, if you won the lottery and I won the lottery money back 5 years later, do you even have it?
Hell no.
Hell no. Most of the people are broke in 5 years. And I'm not saying these guys aren't. I'm not saying that's the scenario. But you don't think they spent a penny of it? You don't think they treated themselves to something nice? You don't think that money, of course, like all these sports people, chunks of it went to agents and managers and all these things. A lot of these guys, and most people don't even realize this, that they're sports trainers and their swing coaches are all in on a percentage of their earnings. They're all earning cuts of that. So you mean to tell me that you got to go call up your swing coach and say, hey, I need this money back? Because these guys are pissed that this whole thing went down the way it did.
You can't do that.
It's stupid.
You literally can't do that. It's something that it sounds. When you sent me it, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like,
doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense because if you ask people to give money back, one, that makes people not want to come.
Right.
Like, why should these live guys want that merger now? If all they want is for the PGA guys to have money and the live guys to be broke, basically. Like, it don't make sense.
It doesn't. And no one's asking Scotty Scheffler to give back 50% of what he earned this year. Yeah. That's not even on the table. It's not a conversation.
Yeah.
But it should be then.
I think they should stay separated and then have once a year have like a Ryder Cup type of like match.
I think that organizationally it makes sense for them to come under the same umbrella. So that way there is a unification and potential for some cross play. I think, that the way that we have this, like the Ryder Cup is going on and they're annexing out certain people and they now can't compete in the Ryder Cup, or the way we saw the Olympics go down, where the Olympics, how does it matter who or where you play golf?
That was one that was really weird to me.
So to me, that's where I'm like, burn the whole system down.
Yeah.
I mean, we are talking about the Olympics. We are talking about sending the greatest players to represent their country individually. And I'm not just talking about my selfishness for the United States representation. I'm talking about every single country across the board, everywhere. It should be without limitation and not because of, I hold this tour card so I can compete in the Olympics. That they should be completely irrelevant to each other and have zero association. Same thing for the Ryder Cup. The Ryder Cup is not a PGA Tour event. The PGA Tour doesn't even own any of it. It is a completely separate thing from them. So why would the PGA Tour have any implications on your eligibility to play in the Ryder Cup if it's not a PGA Tour owned event?
That's a great example. And think about the majors.
Yeah.
They don't say, "Oh, you're in LIV, you're not allowed." You still have to qualify.
Yeah.
But they're not going to be like, "Oh, you qualified, but you played for LIV Golf. You're not playing." They don't care.
I would say the only place that it does come into question is, for example, like the PGA Championship.
Okay.
Where that is based on your rankings and your automatic invitation. So you'll have guys who are competing at the highest level on this tour, but their tour's rankings are not recognized. So you've got guys like John Rahm and Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau that have their exemptions that allow them to come back from previous wins, or the fact that they've done well enough in the majors to get world golf ranking points. But there's no path for a player who is on the rise, who's improving their game and getting wins over on the LIV Golf Tour to play in the PGA Championship, which, for those of you that are not clear on it, the PGA Championship It has nothing to do with the PGA Tour. They're different organizations. They are not related. They are not connected. They have nothing to do with each other. So when you hear PGA Championship, do not confuse that with the PGA Tour. They are not the same organization. PGA Championship is a part of the PGA of America, which is at your local golf club. You've got the head pro. He's not a pro because he's on the PGA Tour. No, he is a head golf professional because he has accreditations and he's gone through the process to get a PGA of America certification to run a golf course. That is the organization that puts on the PGA Championship. So that's why I don't feel that the pathway into that tournament should only come through the processes of the PGA Tour, because it's a separate organization. They have nothing to do with each other.
Dude, you're sweating.
I'm sweating. Dude, I am fired up today. I'm sweating right through my Crushers GC shirt.
Hey, it's got some good sweatability.
It does. It's moisture wicking.
Hell yeah.
And it's in full wick mode. Side note, I was watching Phil Mickelson leave the driving range. He's a lefty golfer. It was so weird to me to watch him sign an autograph with his right hand.
He signs autographs with his right hand?
He's a righty.
Dude, I tried to take a picture with him, and his manager or something said, wait till after the round, when he was by no one.
Most players won't do autographs or pictures during the round. It's pretty standard. It is. Just, I get it. But to watch him sign with his right hand, and I even know he's right-handed. I know that from interviews and things where he's a right-handed player who stands on the lefty side of the ball because it makes more sense as his right hand dominant being the forward hand in his golf swing, as opposed to a righty golfer who stands on the righty side of the ball and your left hand is your forward hand. Funny thing about that is I'm a little bit ambidextrous. I am lefty for a lot of things. So when I stand on the righty side of the ball, it actually makes sense to me that my left hand is leading, because I don't know why, as like a lefty dominant exercise.
Isn't that weird?
It's very weird. Very weird. But watching him grab the marker and sign somebody's whatever paraphernalia, collector's items with his right hand just threw me off. I was like, I don't know why that's weird to me.
Yeah, people say the same thing with me too. After they see me.
What hand do you write with?
My right. But I could write lefty.
Good, or you can chicken scratch a little?
No, it's not
decent?
It's not as good as my.
Is it legible?
Yeah.
Wow. Dude, I can't even like hold a pencil with my right hand. It's all left.
I know people that like had to do that because they broke their arm or something.
Yeah.
Like, and it happened to my mom actually when she was younger. She had a whole school year because she broke her arm twice. Like, broke it, healed, broke it.
Jeez.
So like,
tough year.
Yeah. Yeah. And then after that, she did the other one.
Wow.
Yeah. So she had to write with her left hand.
So she's like still good at it to this day. Like, I guess you don't lose it. It's like riding a bike,
Yeah,
huh?
it's a little weird.
We've got the President's Cup coming up.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Not really.
Me either.
I
don't know why.
By looking at the teams here, it's very one-sided. And like when I mean very, I mean like if you're betting, I bet you bet $1 on them,
Yeah.
you're winning 10 cents. Like
Yeah.
it's not it doesn't look fun.
You know, I don't know why I'm having a hard time caring. I'll watch, and maybe I'll be surprised. Maybe it'll be wildly exciting.
Like, I'd like to see some of these names of guys that we have no clue of just like come out here and beat like a Tony Finau or like Max Homa. Like that would be something that would be fun to see.
I mean, inherently though, are you rooting for Team USA?
Hell yeah.
Okay, thank God. Like I didn't know. I was hoping you wouldn't give the wrong answer. All right. I feel like Team USA is pretty well versed in top players in terms of the PGA Tour.
They're stacked.
Scotty Scheffler, Xander Schauffele, Colin Morikawa, Wyndham Clark, Patrick Cantlay, Sahith Theegala, Keegan Bradley, Sam Burns, Tony Finau, Brian Harmon, Russell Henley, and Max Homa. Max has had a rough year, but he's such a good player. Maybe this little break. Maybe he needed like a beat just to like.
He's got that dog in him when it comes to match play.
He's got that dog.
He's a match play golfer.
He is. All right. International team. Let's see here. Hideki Matsuyama, Sung Jae Im, Adam Scott, Tom Kim, Jason Day, Byung Hun An, and then this one, I don't even know how to say his last name, Christian Bezuidenhout.
It's like Bezuidenhout.
Okay, thank you for helping me through that one. Corey Connors, Mackenzie Hughes, Siwoo Kim, Minwoo Lee, and Taylor Pendrith. If you were to ask me, I could be wrong. And listen, I feel like I'm being careful to not give them the prediction curse that exists among us. But I'm just saying in terms of names and notoriety, the U.S. team would appear to be quite a bit more stacked.
Oh, yeah, of course. But so like the format here with the, what is it, 4-ball? So in foursomes, I mean, do they have multiple teams? I don't really know how the President Cup works. So do they have like Squad A and Squad B when it comes to like their 4-man stuff?
I'm going to be honest. I have no clue.
Like, will they have like say a first team is Scotty, Xander, Colin, and Wyndham, and then the next team is Cantlay, Thigala, Bradley, and Burns, and then there's a third team with the other 4. Is that a thing, or is it just like their best 4 is going to be playing?
Yeah, I mean, usually, because you don't want to lose matches, that you're not going to overstack one team, because that only gives you 1 win and could leave you open for 4 more losses.
Yeah.
So I do know, and that's kind of where the U.S. coach Jim Furyk, where his strategy is going to come into play, where he's going to figure out, okay, how do I build multiple potentially dominant teams, or at least these are teams I can guarantee points out of, and then these are teams that are potential or could at least potentially hold off the loss of points.
Are there any matchups you want to see, like one-on-ones? Like you're hoping to happen?
I mean, I'm sorry, but like on the international team, I mean, I've been a Jason Day fan for a very long time. I feel like he's sort of on the other side of his heyday. Though I like, there's so much I like about Jason Day. I love just hearing him talk about swings and golf balls and spin and wedges and so much stuff. But I don't know that I'm like dying to see who he's going to be playing against.
I'll tell you something. Sleeper pick, who I think actually might be the breakout star of this international team, is Adam Scott.
Dude, Adam Scott has had a year.
He's hot right now.
Dude, and he has been playing for so long. I mean, he is like an OG vet at this point. Like
he's like a Jason Day.
He is. He's like a PGA Tour veteran, and yet at the same time, this year had a fantastic year. So maybe he'll bring some surprises. You know what? Okay, Minwoo Lee. I always enjoy to watch him play.
Yeah, he's fun.
Oh, dude, let him cook all day long. I don't know.
But I still don't think, maybe like depending on if everyone plays the individual, I could see Harmon losing, Sam Burns losing.
But to who?
Exactly.
What you're going to have to do is pick their top players.
Yeah.
And that's who's going to beat them. Well, then who's facing Scotty Scheffler? You know, Hideki Matsuyama is going to be in one of the, whether it's Scotty or Xander, like that's where Hideki's going. Adam Scott, same thing. But, of course, Tom Kim, a lot of fun to watch. Is he like a dominant force who's going to hold off? I don't know.
He ain't.
Patrick Cantlay
Maybe him. Because, Patrick Cantlay did have a decent year. He is kind of high up here on the list.
Well, dude, and him at the Ryder Cup, Hatgate, the whole thing, dude. Patrick Cantlay's got a little bit of a prickly personality, if you will. He's sort of like one of those like hard to love
He's kind
players.
of like a Tyrell Hatton.
A little bit. He definitely has some of that vibe. But I will tell you, at the Ryder Cup in Rome, I developed a soft spot for this guy just because he showed some dog. Didn't
Rory want to fight him?
Oh, yeah. 100%. Because they were taunting him. We were on the European soil for this event. It was their home court. So the crowds were without a doubt leaning towards and sort of cheering against, leaning towards the European team, cheering against the U.S. team. And it started getting pretty wild with the whole Hatgate thing.
You know what I just noticed?
What?
Rory's not on this damn list.
You're right. Why?
Hold on. This is nuts. We've been going through this conversation for how long? We didn't even notice it.
Do me a favor here and pull up the 2023 Ryder Cup European team, and let's figure out who else is missing. And now here's the thing. This is the international team. It's not the European team.
Yeah.
So, of course, we're not going to be looking at a full stack deck of just European players. But where's Victor Hovland?
And Fleetwood.
Where's Tommy Fleetwood? He just won the silver medal. Dude, how did we not examine this list? I'm reading it just for like who's on it.
Yeah.
I'm not reading it for who's not on it.
2024 president.
What is happening? What are we doing?
Yeah. Literally, yeah. What is this coach doing or this captain doing here?
What about like Ludwig Oberg? Like, where is he?
Dude, I can't believe we just realized that. I noticed it and I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, well, right. I'm sitting here reading through these names like wondering like what a whatever lackluster team, but ignoring the players that ultimately should be on the team. And maybe what it is, it's like, you know what? All these guys got a Ryder Cup, and now we have to include the rest of the world because it's not European USA. So I'm sorry, guys. You got to sit this one out because you actually get to do the fun one.
Yeah,
Where's Rory?
Where's Rory? Where's Hovland? Where's Fleetwood? Like, all their, like, big-name players.
What are we doing? What are they doing?
Like, Shane Lowry?
It's insanity.
Is Sung Jae Im on there?
Yeah.
He is. Taylor Pendrith, he ended up 14th.
Yeah, he's the last on the list. I mean, I'm sure it's in no particular order.
Yeah, Fleetwood. Man.
Whatever. Hey, you know what? And listen, I don't want to call it an easy win because it seems to me like when we make those types of predictions, we are wildly wrong. And I don't want us to, I don't know, lose.
Yeah, but the thing is, those guys are ranked within like wherever the parameter is.
Yeah.
This doesn't make sense.
Whatever.
I can't believe we just realized that now.
I'm already over it.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch. It's going to be fun. It'll be a good time. I think what makes it a good time instantly and inherently is it's fun to watch a change up from standard week by week individual play. I do think it's fun when these guys are high-fiving, whatever, like chest bumping, like the whole thing. I love that energy. I think it's so fun to see these guys come out of that my world solo focus sort of shell. Mm-hmm. And it's a cool side to these guys, to see. So I'm excited for that part.
Dude, did you see what happened with Tiger Woods?
Another surgery.
Another back surgery.
I think it's like number 6 or 7 or something.
6 and 10 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's getting to the point where I don't think this guy's going to retire unless he's in a wheelchair.
Which I'm fine with that. I mean, we got John Daly whizzing around in a golf cart now at the majors. Like,
does he really?
He was at the PGA Championship. He was in a golf cart. It was great. It was a great.
They let him do it?
Yeah. Why not?
Wow.
Why not? What?
Wow.
Who in their right mind is going to be like, get John Daly out of here? He got to ride in the cart. No one. Everyone wants to see him play, and everyone wants to see Tiger Woods play. Doesn't matter if he's, in the dominant reign of his career anymore.
Dude, at this point, just put him in an AI robot.
Oh, that would
be like the same as
that swing machine, like
career.
the robotic where they test golf clubs.
Mm-hmm.
It's got like his face and then that thing just hitting like perfect shots.
I mean, it would look like him in 2007.
Yeah, kind of. I got something for you, Josh.
Yeah.
I made a little game.
Oh, no.
I made a little game. Why not?
You told me about this, and I'm like, oh, what am I in for?
You're in for it. Let's just say that much. So, you're in the early phases of your golf career and learning the sport. I thought, how fun would it be to create a little golf quiz
Okay.
of golf terms, golf slang, if you will.
All right.
And I want to know of these terms, and they sort of progressively get a little more,
Harder?
I don't know. Yeah, harder or less common.
All right.
All right.
Throw them at my way.
Here's what I've got for you, though. I thought, I was digging through some things we've had some of our wonderful sponsors send us, and I thought I'd give you a little prize pack here.
Okay.
Here's what I got. I've got 13 on here. I'll give you 3 strikes.
Okay.
All right, 3 strikes and you're out. If you do not use all 3 strikes, I've got the original Groove It brush. The Groove It brush.
Oh,
The original Groove It brush.
I could use one of those.
This is, it fills with water, sprays, gives a little spritz on your club, cleans it. I know I've seen you take a few chunk shots. The club face gets dirty. This could be a big help. And then it's got that super cool magnet that connects it back to the bag. I to be honest, I've owned 50 brushes, and I'm dead serious. This is before I ever even met these guys. This is my favorite brush. So there you go. And if not, there's a consolation prize.
Oh.
You get a pink mini Groove It.
Man, I like pink.
I know you do. But I felt like every time we go out and play and I see you with your little pink mini Groove It, it'll always remind us
That I'm dumb.
I wasn't going to say it, but I will repeat you and say that you're dumb. Your words, not mine. All right. Da 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 da. Here we go. Game show time.
Throw it at me.
All right. The first term in the game, Josh, worm burner.
The fuck is that?
A worm burner.
Is a worm burner? It's got to be like something hot off the ground.
Okay, yeah. You're in the right trend, and I'll work with you here.
It's either a worm burner is either like a super hard putt, or it's one of those like top shots where it's like a ground ball.
Bingo. That's it.
Go.
That's a worm burner.
There we go.
It says a shot that skims very low along the ground, barely getting airborne. Okay. Snowman.
When a ball hits another ball.
It is not.
It isn't?
Snowman is scoring an 8 on a hole.
Oh, I should have thought about
got
that.
a snowman.
Oh, I always get snowmans.
All right.
I
hold
always
on.
get snowmans.
Let me see here.
Oh no,
All
that was
right.
terrible. That's a bad take right there.
All right. Yips.
Oh, that's when you I have them. It's when you have a bad shot and you keep on repeating that bad shot.
Kind of.
Yeah.
It's what causes the bad shots.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you.
It's something that happens in your brain, and now you got the yips.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sudden loss of fine motor skills causing golfers to miss easy shots, often due to anxiety.
Yep.
All right. I'll let you have it. Okay.
I know what the yips are.
Albatross.
Oh, that's
It's not even slang.
It's a 2 on a par 5.
Yeah, essentially. It is completing a hole 3 strokes under par.
Yeah.
A 2 on a par 5. Yeah. Okay, you got it. All right. You still had only 1 strike here.
1 strike. All right.
Fried egg. It's a very common term. This isn't even wildly nuanced, but I'm not sure that
Hitting a fried egg? Like hitting a fried egg or having the ball be a fried egg?
I will help you and let you know that the ball is the fried egg.
Is it when it's like halfway in, halfway out of a divot?
A bunker.
Damn it.
But you got, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a half point there.
All right.
And we'll see if you need it in the end. All right, half point. Foot wedge.
Oh, it's when you kick the ball wherever you want it.
Thank you. I was
I do that all the time.
praying you knew that one. Chili dip.
Chili dip.
Yeah.
No chips. Chili dip. That one's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to think if it's like if it's a type of shot or if it's how it lands.
a type of shot
A chili
or
dip.
an error in your shot.
Is a chili dip just like taking out a massive divot?
Yes.
Oh,
A
really?
shot where the golfer hits the ground behind the ball, resulting in a poor or short shot.
Yeah, I'm used to those.
Yeah. It's, the origins evokes the image of dipping into something thick like chili before hitting the ball.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
I was surprised I got that one.
Banana ball.
Oh, Savannah Bananas?
No, it's not in relation to the baseball team.
Banana ball. What is that? Hitting it in the trees?
It usually when like a banana ball would then go into the trees.
Oh, a slice.
There you go.
Okay. Okay, the shape of a banana.
Banana
okay,
ball.
I got it.
All right, cabbage.
That's the long hitting from the long grass or something in the cabbage in the
The dense, thick, rough where it's difficult to find or play the ball.
or the marsh, playing in the marsh.
It's dense, thick grass.
Yeah.
If someone's talking about the cabbage. Okay. I didn't know this one. Which ham and egg.
Ham and egg?
Yeah, I might have to even give you a pass on this one because I never heard of it until
Ham and egg. That seems like when you take a super long divot with the ham and then the egg. Is it a super long divot?
unfortunately it is not.
Then what is it?
It is when two partners in a team game complement each other by playing well at different times.
Oh.
Just like ham and eggs go well
yeah.
together, the player's performance combined effectively.
Okay. That one's understandable.
I know. It is. And like I said, I've never heard of it.
Is that my mulligan question?
A barky.
Oh, that's when you hit it off a tree.
So glad you got that. All right. We got two left.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Army golf.
Army golf.
Yes.
Is that just walking the course?
It is in reference to that.
Walking the course and carrying your bag?
It is okay.
Am I in the ballpark?
You are. It's something that happens when I mean you're very close.
You're walking the course. If I'm walking the course, I'm pretty much holding my bag.
So here's the thing. It's not as much about the act of walking. It is about the using all sorts of the course. Using
you're just walking back and forth on the hole.
Yeah, right.
Okay. I'm used to that.
What is the Army march? Left, right,
Yeah.
left,
Yeah.
right. So when you're hitting erratic play where shots alternate from going left to right, you're missing on both sides.
Dude, I must enlist, man. I'm playing a lot of Army golf.
All right, I'm giving you the half.
All right.
You're close. The last one. That's what it all comes down to. Dramatic music.
Bum, 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 bum.
Tin cup.
That's when you hit the cup and it bounces out, or if it stays in. That one I know because when you hit the cup,
You're not going down the right path.
no, really?
Okay.
Oh no.
What is tin cup in what is it? Tin cup was a what? Do you know it from history? It was a
Thing you drink beer out of.
a movie.
Oh.
It is a golf movie called Tin Cup. So if you're not even aware that the Tin Cup movie exists, it would be very difficult to know this reference.
Is it the golfer's Caddyshack?
Yes.
Oh no. Tin cup. What can be a tin cup? It's either like you hit it into a cup or you're drinking a cup. Can I get
Unfortunately, it's none of that. and it's a reference to the main character in the movie, and sort of one of the most important scenes, or one of the biggest scenes of the movie.
And you've seen this movie?
It's one of those movies that I've seen like while it's on TV, and I didn't like stare at the whole thing, but I know what the movie's about, and I understand what this means.
I'll have to watch it. What's it called? Tin Cup?
Tin Cup. Yeah. A golfer who stubbornly attempts a difficult shot repeatedly, often leading to a high score.
I should know that.
I know. It's, and I think the difficult thing about that is maybe the movie's before your time, but the term has sort of transcended the movie and is commonly used on the golf course at this point.
So I got 3 wrong. The last one killed me.
It did. It was a tough one. So I'm sorry, Josh.
I get the pink brush.
You have earned yourself the beautiful Mini G pink Groove It brush, which still has the very strong magnet attachment.
Oh, sweet.
So you can leave it attached to your bag. Or as you see a lot of the pros do when they're at the range, they'll put the clip on the belt loop, hit some shots, club face gets dirty, they pull the Mini off, clean the thing off, put it back on their belt loop, and keep rocking.
Dude,
so,
my bag is starting to look like a golfer bag.
you're getting close, man.
I'm getting close.
You've earned it.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Hey,
Shout out to Groove It.
shout out to Groove It. Perhaps in the next game, this one will go to you, or we'll give it to one of the adoring fans at home. Maybe we'll see. But that stays here. This prize lives on. And that is it for this week's show of the Dan's Golf World Podcast. Josh, did we forget anything?
No.
I think we covered it all. That's it for this week. And until next time, keep on swinging those golf clubs.